Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Complex Biology. So today let us discuss protein sequencing, like how a peptide is cleaved when it is treated with various proteases. So this is a given peptide with sequence leucine, valine, alanine, arginine, valine, lysine, tryptophan, valine, alanine. Now, we are given two proteases. One of them is trypsin, and trypsin cleaves at carboxy terminal of, or we can say C side of, two amino acids, lysine and arginine. C side means this side, right side, and N terminal is on the left side. So, next, another protease is chymotrypsin. So this protease has the characteristic of cleaving a peptide at carboxy terminal of phenylalanine, tyrosine, tryptophan, leucine and methionine. Now we are given a question that how many bands will be produced from this peptide when it is treated with, first of all, it is treated with trypsin, then later on the same peptide is treated with chymotrypsin. So we want to find out the bands, how many bands will be produced. So for that, since we know, first of all we will find out for trypsin. So let me just write down the sequence again over here. For ease, valine, alanine, arginine, valine, lysine, tryptophan, valine and alanine. Right. So let us first find out where exactly trypsin will cleave this peptide. So first of all we will look for lysine. If there is any lysine in the peptide, this is the lysine. So that means trypsin will cleave over here, because it cleaves at C side or carboxy terminal. So that means it will, rather than cleaving it at here, it will cleave at here. So this is for lysine. Let us find out if there is any arginine. Yes. So there is an arginine as well. So the trypsin will cleave over here as well. Right. So how many bands will be produced? Like 3 fragments will be produced. One of them will be this, another one will be this, and another one will be this. So here we can write down with trypsin, there will be 3 bands with sequence leucine, valine, alanine and arginine. First one is this. Second band will be valine or lysine. Tryptophan, valine and alanine. So we got to know that there will be 3 bands when produced when we will cleave this peptide, the given peptide, with trypsin. Now let us find out what will happen when, how many bands will be produced when the same peptide will be treated with chymotrypsin. So this is the same peptide. Now let us find out. So firstly we will check. Chymotrypsin cleaves at carboxy terminal of phenylalanine. So we will look for phenylalanine over here. There is no phenylalanine. Then tyrosine. No, there is no tyrosine. Tryptophan. So we can see tryptophan over here. So that means chymotrypsin will cleave the peptide from here. Not at this end, because this is N side or N terminal. But chymotrypsin cleaves at C terminal. So a cut will be produced over here. We will check for other amino acids as well. Leucine. Yeah, leucine is there. But the problem is the terminal amino acids are not cleaved by proteases. They are cleaved by carboxypeptidases. So even though leucine is over here, but it will not be cleaved by chymotrypsin, because chymotrypsin cleaves only all these given amino acids when they are not at either extreme N terminal or extreme C terminal. So even though leucine is there, there will be no separate band produced, and methionine is not here. So it is confirmed that with chymotrypsin, how many bands will be produced? 2 bands will be produced. So we can write it over here. 2 bands. Leucine, valine, alanine, arginine, valine, lysine and tryptophan. This is one band, this is one peptide, and this is another one, valine and alanine. So that's how we can find out about where exactly they cleave and how many bands they produce. So this is one form of question, but sometimes they can give us like fragments, and we have to go reverse. Like they will give us fragments like this, and they will ask us to find out the sequence of the peptide, like the original peptide which was cut. So we will discuss that now. Now let's discuss this problem. This is a little bit complex problem, and this is reverse of what we discussed earlier. So we are given these fragments of a polypeptide which has been treated with various reagents and proteases one by one. Like the same polypeptide is treated with each of these reagents and proteases, and then these kind of fragments are produced. Like when it was treated with Edmond degradation, leucine was produced. When the polypeptide was treated with cyanogen bromide, we got 2 fragments. And the sequence of the amino acids is not known. We need to find out what is the sequence. So for ease, I have written where exactly various proteases cleave a given polypeptide. So trypsin, as already discussed, it cleaves at C side of lysine and arginine, and pepsin cleaves N side of leucine, phenylalanine, trypsin and tyrosine. Chymotrypsin, I have already discussed, it cleaves at C side of phenylalanine, tyrosine, tryptophan, leucine and methionine. And carboxypeptidase, it doesn't cleave the polypeptide as already discussed in the previous question. It doesn't cleave the polypeptide in the center. It only cleaves at terminals. So it removes C terminal, like the extreme right amino acid, when the amino acid residue is not arginine, lysine or proline. If there is any amino acid except for these 3, then that amino acid will be removed from the extreme C terminus. Yeah, C terminus is itself the terminal amino acid. It's not C side now. It is C terminus. That means it is on the extreme right now. So cyanogen bromide, we represent it with CNBr. It cleaves the C side of methionine. And V8 protease cleaves C side of aspartic acid and glutamic acid. And elastase cleaves C side of glycine, serine and valine. Now we need to find out the sequence of all these amino acids. There are how many amino acids? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there are 11 amino acids in the polypeptide and we do not know the position of any of the amino acids. So one by one we will find out step by step. So there is as such no method like to find out. We have to do it with via hit and trial method. That is the only way we can find it out, and we need to apply some brain to do it. So what I do is, whenever I get these kind of problems, I look for the protease which creates least number of fragments, because it makes us easier to do it. So we can see also Edman reagent. Edman reagent is like it interacts with the N-terminal amino acid and then it produces PTH derivative of that N-terminal amino acid only. And then we don't know the sequence of any other amino acid, like this any other amino acid within the same polypeptide, but we know what is in the terminal, at the terminal. So that means when it is treated with Edman reagent, which is phenyl thioisocyanate, then we get leucine. So it is confirmed that at extreme N-terminal, this 11 amino acid long polypeptide has leucine. Now, so that's confirmed. Apart from this, as already said, I look for the least number of fragments and largest fragments. So we can see, we look for V8 protease. We can see 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 fragments. We won't go for it because it will make the problem as very complicated. And then we will look for CNBr. So we can see only 2 fragments. These amino acids are like, these are not written in sequence. We still need to find out the sequence, and these are also not given in sequence because there is comma. So that means cyanogen bromide cleaves the given peptide that we want to find out in 2 fragments. So this is the least number of fragments. Also we can see trypsin also produces only 2 fragments. So we can either start with cyanogen bromide or trypsin. So let us start with cyanogen bromide. We will look for information given for cyanogen bromide. So it is easier. The reason why I didn't take trypsin first, because trypsin cleaves at 2 amino acid, but cyanogen bromide cleaves only at 1 amino acid, which is methionine. So it is easier for us to know. That means here is methionine and cyanogen bromide cleaves at C terminus of methionine. That means position of methionine is fixed in this polypeptide now, because CNBr has cleaved it over here. We will write XX for those amino acid position for whom is not known. And as already discussed, at extreme N terminal there is leucine. So leucine is also fixed. That's how we do it step by step. So methionine, after methionine, there are only, so here only we don't know in this fragment whether here it is glutamic acid or aspartic acid. Here we don't know anything in this fragment. So let us just do cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So this is the first thing we know about this polypeptide. Next, we will look for another bigger fragment, which is like least number of fragments which are created by trypsin. So now we will look for a site of cleavage for trypsin, because trypsin also produces only 2 fragments. So we will check here. Trypsin cleaves at C side of lysine and arginine. So that means here we can see lysine and this is arginine, right? Now we can see these amino acids in the previous which were there with V8 protease. Sorry, which were with cyanogen bromide, leucine glutamic acid and methionine aspartic acid. In this fragment, when the same polypeptide is treated with trypsin. So that means, next we already know the position of methionine, leucine. We will check for lysine over here, and trypsin cleaves at C terminus of lysine. So that means we have already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That means at 7th position we have lysine over here, where trypsin will cleave. So we got to know the position of one more protease. And here we had C and Br. Now let us look for another protease, the fragment created by another protease. Let us go for V8 protease now. We know it cleaves at, V8 protease cleaves at aspartic acid, C side of aspartic acid and C side of glutamic acid. And it produces 3 fragments. But it's not a problem because we already know position of a few amino acids already. So it's not at all complicated now. We know methionine is there. Methionine, arginine. Methionine is here. We don't know about this one yet. We know about leucine. So leucine and aspartic acid will be all together in the fragment. Methionine we know, arginine. So it also cuts at aspartic acid. So it will be intact. We need to find out for aspartic acid and glutamic acid. We know leucine and aspartic acid are together. So the V8 protease cleaves the fragment at C side of aspartic acid and glutamic acid, but aspartic acid is with leucine. So that means now we got to know the position of aspartic acid as well. Right? Aspartic acid, and since aspartic acid is over here, so that means glutamic acid must be here. Let us write it down here. Here it will be cleaved by V8 protease. V8 protease. Here it is by CNBR. and here by trypsin. Now we only need to find out position of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 amino acids only. So we are almost half done. Next, let us look for another protease. Let us go for chymotrypsin this time. So chymotrypsin cleaves the fragment, the polypeptide into 3 fragments, tyrosine, lysine, with these sequences. So we know position of these amino acids already: methionine, glutamic acid, aspartic acid, leucine, arginine. So first of all, let us check where exactly chymotrypsin cleaves. It cleaves at phenylalanine, tyrosine, tryptophan, leucine and methionine. So we will look for these amino acids. So we can see tyrosine over here, right? And it cleaves tyrosine. So that means the position of tyrosine must be somewhere here, because lysine is already here. We don't know about serine. We don't know about glutamine. We don't know about valine. But we know about tyrosine now. So chymotrypsin arginine and alanine are here. They are at the terminus, it means. And tyrosine is here, because chymotrypsin will cleave this fragment at tyrosine C terminus. Chymotrypsin. Right. Now we know the position of tyrosine. We know about lysine. So let us next find out with another protease, which is elastase. Right. So elastase has produced 4 fragments. Earlier it was complicated when the sequence of none of the amino acid was known or acids was not known, but now we know a lot of amino acids already, their position in the polypeptide. So it's not at all complicated now, because we already know a lot of things about this. So we know about these. First of all, let us check where exactly elastase cleaves. So elastase is here. It cleaves C side of glycine, serine and valine. So we know positions of these. We know lysine is over here. Serine maybe somewhere here. It cleaves at valine, right? C terminus of valine. We know glutamine, lysine and serine are all together. So lysine is here. So this amino acid is either glutamine or serine. And elastase cleaves at C side of valine, and valine has been written separately over here. So that means valine is at this position. Let me write down. So now we only need to find out these 4 amino acids. Let me write down their proteases as well. So in the end I will write all the proteases, because right now it will confuse me. Now next what we will do is, we will find out the rest of the amino acids. Serine. So in this fragment, we don't know where exactly serine is, but we know tyrosine is here, lysine is here. Yeah, so from this fragment also it is clear that serine must be here because it is with tyrosine, arginine and alanine. So let me write serine over here. Now we only need to find out this amino acid. So with the position of serine, now we know this fragment had lysine, serine and glutamine. So if serine is here, lysine is here, then that means glutamine must be here. Right. Now we need to find out only here, from here, whether arginine is at the terminal or alanine. We will get to know about it from carboxypeptidase. So carboxypeptidase removes the C-terminus amino acid residues unless it is arginine, lysine or proline. So arginine must not be in the terminus. So it means that this position is arginine and this is alanine. So once we know the method to do it, even though it is hidden trial method, yet we can easily find out the sequence of the amino acids of a large polypeptide, like of even 11 amino acids long. But for that we need to know the method in the sense how do we proceed step by step. So let me write down here now which protease is cleave where. So V8 protease will cleave here, CNBR cleaves here, methionine valine is cleaved by elastase. Elastase will cleave here, and it is cleaved by trypsin over here. So after trypsin, we only need to specify the position of chymotrypsin, which will cleave over here. So it means the given polypeptide will have sequence as leucine, aspartic acid, glutamic acid, methionine, valine, glutamine, lysine, serine, tyrosine, arginine and alanine. So that's how we can find out the sequence of amino acid from the given fragments in a polypeptide.